What if I told you the foundation of today's global banking system was built not by governments or kings, but by one single family? A family so influential that their name became synonymous with money, secrecy, and power. Say, this isn't myth or conspiracy. It's a story of financial innovation, geopolitics, and centuries of trust. The Rothschilds didn't just grow rich, they rewrote the rules of modern finance. How did one family rise from a cramped Frankfurt ghetto to dominate Europe's economy? And how much of their influence still shapes the world today? Let's uncover the rise of the Rothschilds, the world's richest and most powerful financial dynasty. To understand their legacy, we must travel back to 18th century Europe, a continent ruled by monarchs, not markets. Wars were constant and every crown needed the same thing: money. Lending to monarchs was perilous, empires collapsed, debts vanished. Amid this volatility, one man saw opportunity: Amschel Rothschild, a Jewish banker in Frankfurt's Judengasse. He began by trading rare coins and exchanging currencies, but what made him different was his grasp of networks, trust, information, and timing. He realized that money alone wasn't power. Information was. Mayer had 5 sons. Instead of keeping them home, he sent each to a major European capital. Amschel stayed in Frankfurt. Salomon went to Vienna. Nathan moved to London. Karl took Naples. James established Paris. Together, they formed a private communication web that spanned Europe. Their encrypted letters carried news faster than any messenger service. They knew who was winning wars, which currencies were collapsing, and where opportunity waited. That information edge became the engine of their empire. Their rise accelerated during the Napoleonic Wars. Nathan Rothschild in London financed Britain's fight against Napoleon, moving gold across borders to pay soldiers. While the world saw chaos, he saw flow of capital and mastered it. When Napoleon fell at Waterloo, Nathan reportedly received word of victory hours before anyone else. He used that knowledge to maneuver bond trades, earning a fortune and cementing the family's reputation as financial geniuses. But the real victory wasn't profit, it was credibility. Finance had become more powerful than armies. By the 1820s, the Rothschilds were Europe's central bankers. They financed railways, mines, and national projects from Paris to Vienna. Their name guaranteed confidence. When they invested, others followed. When they withdrew, markets shook. They pioneered international banking, cross-border money transfers, state bonds, coded correspondence, and family partnerships that kept control in their own hands. Their London house became the hub of world finance. They even funded the Suez Canal, linking Europe to Asia's trade routes. By mid-century, their fortune exceeded that of many monarchies. Their influence came not from political office but from trust. The 19th century was the age of gold, and the Rothschilds were its guardians. Their London bank became the largest bullion trader in the world. The Bank of England relied on their reserves. Governments sought their advice. They didn't just lend to rulers, they shaped policy. When wars threatened markets, they often brokered peace to protect stability. They even reached across the Atlantic, backing infrastructure and railroads that fueled America's rise. Yet time changes everything. By the late 1800s, national banks began taking over their role. The creation of central banks like the Bank of England and later the Federal Reserve reduced the need for private families to move gold or issue bonds. New titans emerged: the Morgans in the United States, the Warburgs in Germany, state-backed financiers in France and Russia. 2 world wars devastated Europe's banking landscape. Branches were seized, fortunes fractured, secrecy challenged, but the family adapted, shifting into investment banking, mining, and global asset management. They survived not through mystery but through evolution. With wealth came rumor. The Rothschilds became the target of endless myths. Some exaggerated, others invented. They were accused of controlling governments and manipulating markets. Historians agree their real strength was strategic, not supernatural. They mastered timing, diplomacy, and discretion. No palaces, no royal titles, just quiet influence sustained by unity and competence. Today, their name stands not for conspiracy but for endurance. In the 21st century, the Rothschilds are no longer the richest family, yet their methods live on. Modern giants like BlackRock, JP Morgan, and Goldman Sachs operate on the same principles: global networks, information dominance, and institutional trust. They built a world where data moves faster than gold ever could, a world where money itself is trust. So what can we learn from the Rothschild story? First, true power doesn't always wear a crown. Those who move money often move nations. Second, information is wealth. The family's coded letters were the 19th century version of today's digital data streams. Third, trust is the ultimate currency. Their empire thrived because their word was as good as gold. The Rothschilds began as humble money changers and became architects of international finance. Their story isn't just about fortune, it's about the birth of a system that still defines global economics. In a world where trust in finance wavers, their legacy reminds us that invisible power can last for centuries. Empires rise and fall, but systems endure. And the system they helped create still beats quietly beneath our global economy. This was the rise of the Rothschilds, the world's richest family. If you found this story insightful, subscribe for more deep dives into how money, power, and history intertwine, because understanding the past is the first step to decoding the present.